you, but like not often enough to dedicate that much time to it.
All right. I don't know if you
Like-
noticed, but we're live.
Hey!
Oh, hi.
Um,
You didn't say anything.
Hello.
yeah. Hello. Welcome to the party. Welcome to Mimic Nights. We're back. I'm super excited. I love
It's
Mimic
been way
Nights.
too long.
I am too!
I don't know what kind of nonsense we're gonna do tonight, but I'm very excited. Do any of you remember where we were last time? Like physically in the
I've
world?
had to watch it again because I forgot everything.
What happened?
Aw.
Hang on, I gotta open this.
We went
Thank
to a
you.
funeral.
Thank you, Castle Mac Lydia.
Ah, yes. Thank you.
Not for the funeral.
Thanks, Liz.
Well,
So we went to a funeral. I climbed a chandelier. Nearly started an international incident. We had a little.
Just a little
We
thing.
had a little thing with the kings and queens and the elf ambassador person, and decided that we were going to go clean up the forest. And so we went as a army into the forest to clean up the corruption. And Denise was able to suck the corruption out of the obelisk thing dinger.
Yeah. Okay, so let me really quick recap stuff that's happening in the chat. Mets Girl subscribed for 9 months in a row, giving a advantage to Crunk. Casmac Lydia gave 200 bits. Thank you very, very much. And then Fan just subbed for 10 months in a row.
Oh, give it to Mets.
And Mets gets the advantage because she needs more of those.
I'm actually out. So yes, I do. Thank you.
Oh, stop using them.
And
That's what I did.
although
Oh,
it
that's-
won't let me,
Oh wait,
What?
I was not out. I think that's
I'm going to be giving an advantage to myself because
Oh, no.
I subbed for 6 months in a row. I just wasn't able to pop the thing up in time. It expired, but I'm giving myself an advantage because I've been saving it till Mimic Nights.
That's funny.
All right, because I was informed that it would probably not be a great idea to put it on Vampire the Masquerade, so I put it off till now.
aha.
All right. How about we ask who you all are? What do you do? And let's start with the order that I taught you last time we played, but you probably none of you remember.
Nope.
Fan, who are you and who are you playing as?
I am Than. I'm Than Rand everywhere on all the social medias, and I play Kronk, the half-orc barbarian who likes to smash
And lick.
and lick things.
Mets, you are next in the order. Remember this.
Mets girl, I play Denise. She is a half-elf druid who likes to get up to all kinds of shenanigans because who cares about social, proprietary, whatever goodness.
Thank you.
And
Capjack, you are next in the order. Please remember this.
hey everybody, I'm Capjack, or at Captain J Cross on the Twitters, and I'm playing Lucian, the Tiefling Warlock, who does care about social things like not wrecking things for our fragile alliance.
And Omasama-chan, you are next. Please remember this in the future. Who are you?
hi, I'm Bria, and I hate going last.
I'm sorry.
I play Wynn Brunhald, the cleric dwarf that was very, very stressed out last time because this is not how you act at a funeral. um,
Maybe you.
you obviously haven't been to a funeral before.
You have boring funerals.
They are
We have boring most things, to be fair. I didn't say I like it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. I am Shogun. I'm Shogun117 on Twitter, and I am playing as the Dungeon Master today in this game, and hopefully till the end of this game. Maybe someone else will replace me if they really want to. And so physically, we were just at the forest. Is that where we were at the end of it, or did we go back to the castle?
We discussed how the forest was being cleaned up. I don't think we ended at the castle.
I just like resetting back to the castle because that's a neutral point.
Yeah.
Sure, we went back to the castle.
But if you
We're in
want
the
to,
castle.
because you can kind of fast travel anywhere and just tell me what you want to do there. So we're at the castle. Now where do you want to go?
Back to the forest.
Okay.
No, back to the castle.
3
We
hours.
spend a
later.
week going back and forth.
Well, let's see. What else do we have to do? There's the thing where with up north where the
If you would like, I can drop sort of a
We're out of
reminder in.
That would
Please
be
do.
really good and helpful.
So the one-of-a-kind Dragonborn Blackshire repeats the report he gave before, which is a spire of glass has grown up in what is formerly the Wilds Forest up north. It just sprang out of the earth. The Mimic King sends a message. This is not through Blackshire, it's a separate message saying that he has some stuff to speak about one of your former companions. He wants to speak to you all about when you have the time. Pamphlets, basically, political pamphlets are being passed around, demonizing you, both literally and non-literally, saying that you are awful people and are tyrants and have ruined this whole place and murdered a bunch of people, and you know, some of it's true and some of it's not. But it's circulating with suspicious levels of ease as they're able to print these things. Although you're not exactly aware of how that works because printing presses have not been invented to your knowledge yet. Nor do you know what those would be if they were invented. But pamphlets that are all the same with all this propaganda are being passed around everywhere. Some people believe it, some people don't, but it's a thing that's happening. I believe that was everything because you dealt with all the forest stuff. I think that was everything that was going on.
Guys, these pamphlets, what if we gathered up all of the people who believe in the pamphlets and kill them? I'm kidding.
Yes, I think that would be
Some kind of camp where they can concentrate on not spreading.
Oh no, jeez.
Oh.
like super no. Really no.
We ruined it.
Blackshire
Yep.
says that he does know where the person. Yeah, no, we'll turn away from that. Does know where the kind of main person who's distributing them is. He doesn't know where he gets the pamphlets from, but he does know the person that distributes them. If you care to bother, he says that if you want, he can deal with them. He can just hide that one person, get them to disappear through his normal means of operation, and then you can just not worry about the problem, or you can take a more personal touch if you think you can turn this around as far as your persona to the people. Because if you don't care what this is doing, or you want to just leave it at neutral, he can deal with it. But if you want to turn this around into a positive thing, then have at it.
We'd have to do that ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd rather handle it personally, yes. We also have a bit of a problem with that one tribe running a bit amok.
Oh, so a third of the army that helped you. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, perhaps Blackshire would say perhaps you could pressure them in a, well, I guess sort of peer pressure way. I see that reforms are beginning to happen with the rest of the Wildsman tribes. Perhaps they could be pushed to act similarly. Give them one last turning off point before whatever more horrible thing you would do to them happens. But I just think they would be useful if they weren't your enemies. But if you think there's no turning them around, strike quickly.
I mean, I'm sure we can get them to come back to our side in a way, right? It'd be better to not make enemies.
I would like to try.
Well, they think I'm a joke, so
I
This is
mean-
important, yes.
You do have more resources behind you than you did before, though. Like the ticker for how much money you have barely moved. But the other resources you have available, you have a lot more of. You have people, you have artisans, you have the resources that several cities can provide to you, as well as more allies who are more bought into helping you.
right. So what could we do with these new resources to help the less
Friendly?
yeah,
Civilized?
a little less civilized? Oh, wait.
That's you.
Let's go shopping. Screw it all.
We'll just feed into capitalism. Don't worry about it. Oh, golly. I mean, we could, like... Did we talk to their, like, leader? I feel like we didn't. We talked to, like, some of the...
Yeah,
What's-
when you last interacted with them, a kind of lieutenant of them was around, and you got him to leave after they'd already done a bunch of damage to the city.
Wasn't happy about it.
That's right.
But
Even
you
I
haven't
did
seen
more
the
damage.
actual leader since the battle to take the cities.
Well, we may want to talk to that guy then.
That guy.
That guy. Well, I mean, then we can see, like, what the, like, group motive is, I guess, and, like, maybe negotiate with our resources.
Okay.
I think it needs to be less negotiation and more conversion.
Okay.
To, one way or another, bring them around to the way things are going to be, not the way that things were.
Who do you want me to round up to bring with you? Do you want your army to come with you, or?
Oh, goodness, no. I think the thing to do would be to have them here for a grand banquet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A victory banquet.
There we go.
Where we pitch our ideas to them. If they agree, perfect. It's a perfectly nice dinner and everything is wonderful. And if not, the chairs eat them.
I like it. Chairs get hungry too, yo. Gotta keep our mimics fed.
Yeah.
The table and the plates
don't-
and the silverware and, everything.
I like this idea.
All right.
I'm assuming we're
Do you want me to handle the invitation, or how should it be
No,
done?
it probably needs to come from our leader. So, Crunk.
Crunk, do you want me to help you make the invitations?
Yes,
We can put lots of glitter on it.
I have these meaty fingers. I can't really fold it.
I got. You can do like calligraphy.
Maybe Blackshire, you should handle it.
You need to like glue sticks to it.
I will
We
send
make like
an
one
emissary.
and we like present
Like the
it,
little-
and he's like, never mind.
Look what I made.
Yeah, y'all turn to Crunk. You're like, maybe you should make the invitation. And he's like tasting the armrest of his chair.
Bunch of these on there 'cause that's the only one
That's so good, Crunk.
Just make them with rhinestones.
proportion this way off.
While the preparations are being made, what other actions would you like to take?
Oh, we could invent new games to entertain them before. You know,
Let's discuss how are we going to get them, what are we going to tell them? What are we going to do to get them to completely change their ways?
well, what do they want?
Last I checked, they want to raid and pillage and what they normally do when they win.
So they've done that, right?
If they're not going to stay still for long, they're going to want to raid and pillage again soon. We need to give them a focus.
They love challenge and fighting. Oh,
Maybe we could open some sort of sports arena.
Right. These are the ones that do the
Yep, with the big
Animals.
animals.
They do what with big animals?
Sponsored
They have
tournaments.
giant
fighting.
Pokemon. Pit fighting is
Basically.
negative connotation.
Yeah, but that style of competition.
Gladiatorial arena.
Yes.
oh, that's an idea. That way they can do this to the heart's content. They can have champions.
And
They
other.
can challenge anyone.
Mhm.
People will come from all around to challenge them.
And we can charge admission, and then they can make money off of that.
Yes.
And then they won't have to
We won't even have to charge the
pillage.
admission. We let them charge the admission.
Well, we
Well,
pitch it.
no,
to
we would
them.
have to run it through our economic advisor.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, obviously they'd have to pay rent.
Well, we could build the Mimic Coliseum, we'll call it.
Will it be near your castle, or will it be in one of the cities? Or
Oh, it should be in one of the cities.
We should probably put it kind of in between, maybe.
are we
Yes.
building
Like
anything?
not in
Just
the
outside
city,
it.
but like
A
Just
new
outside
settlement?
the city. Because
The city
no
that we-
structure can exist on its own, with rare exceptions. They require
We could do,
towns
like-
and
We should
Around
do it
them
around
too.
here.
supply them.
we'll do like the Ren Fair. They set up like a thing, and then there's just like
Do we want
all the
everyone
shit
around our
around it.
castle all the time?
Well, it's not like we can't just not hear them if we don't want to.
But, like they can get in and steal stuff.
Can they though?
Right.
Not without
That's what
being
I'm saying.
invited.
Do we want to like come
They
out of
can
our
get
castle
in.
and have
I
cities?
feel like we're the only people that could get through this castle without getting hurt.
Yes.
At the very least, captured or lost.
Yeah, if you
I think having a city formed around us isn't a terrible idea.
No.
We become a new center of an empire.
Commerce.
Like,
Yeah.
how far away from the keep would a normal entertainment location such as that exist, where there's going to be like large animals? It's going to be like a good mile or two out, right?
Yeah, but yeah,
Maybe
you can
half a
have it.
mile?
You can basically set that up a distance away from your castle, and then between those two, services to provide for both of those important locations will begin to crop up, and that's how a city naturally grows, is based around
Yeah,
some
I would
pre-existing
figure that we
industry.
have like walls around a courtyard to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's just a buffer from the regular town, and then the other thing is like the actual arena or whatever is going to be like even farther.
I'd
So
say a
we'll
couple
have it
miles
in a
out.
keep, which is our castle. After that, it'll be an outer ring, which will house. I guess we figure out that portion next.
So,
We can each have districts, things of that nature.
do I have permission to take money from the treasury to acquire architects and builders?
Sure.
Begin the project?
For what?
Yes, I'll just need to see ledgers and things of that nature.
Yes.
Wait, wait. Oh, building the arena. I was like, the castle will grow itself. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, so basically
Oh.
building the Colosseum and the
Yeah, that's
civilian
different. That's
buildings that are going to need to be built near it to sustain it.
Well,
Maybe we should tell everybody too instead of
hold that thought. I have an idea. But we're going to need to speak to the king.
You want a whole
Why don't
nother
we
mimic
just-
building?
Why don't we just grow a city?
Are there enough mimics?
I mean,
We create them, don't we? I mean, look at this one. Pet the creepy cat.
Well, you can speak to the king at any time, so you have the link with him.
Do you want to ask? Might as well.
I mean, I guess we could. I was thinking more we should let them build it so that they trust it, and then we can just employ a few smaller ones to act as chairs, and that way we can keep an eye on it, you know, instead of having to go through the whole trouble of building the whole thing out of mimics. That's a lot.
I think the people should be able to create their home.
Plus, it'll give them something to do, you know, like maybe the
Construction
True.
they'll
Yeah.
want
It would
to build it.
upset
It would,
architects and things of that
it would
nature
make them,
to
you
suddenly
know,
be
a
out of
little
work
more
permanently.
into
Ooh, that's a
it.
problem.
It's
Yeah.
good for the economy.
If they build it, they'll get attached to it. Good point.
That's true.
They'll have a more of a sense of ownership.
We're so
Yeah.
manipulative, guys. Holy crap.
I mean, Smash.
Well,
Crunk is being way too smart right now. Sorry.
no, it's fine.
No, he's being the military advisor.
Yes.
Oh, make the
We will
preparations.
offer them
then.
protection while they build their city.
There you
Yeah,
go.
so that makes sense.
All right, so you can either fast forward to maybe 2 or 3 nights later to the feast, or you can do something in the meantime if you have anything you want to do in the meantime.
Might as well talk to the king, right?
What are we talking about?
Good question. The king had something to talk about our former companion. I'm guessing it's Sebastian.
If it's on that topic, he would request that you actually come to the castle
Oh,
in person.
Oh, but that's not what he said.
He said former companion, yes. So I was saying if you're going to talk to him about like less important stuff such as building cities and stuff, he's fine with a psychic, phone call. But if it's important, such as former companions, he wants you to be there in person.
gotcha.
Okay.
I, of course, want to check on my mom,
Yeah, wonderful.
go see the forest, how she's doing.
I want to check on that thing I planted.
Right. Isn't that at our castle?
Nope, it's at
No,
the
it is the other one.
King's Castle. So at the King's Castle, we'll just do the garden scene real fast, then we'll go to the actual meeting. In there, Denise, last time you were interacting with the corruption, you discovered that you might have the ability to
Mm-hmm.
do something further for her benefit.
Right.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
So I'm going to be regaling her with the tale of our ability to get through the forest and how amazing it was. And like Crunk ran off and he fought this big tree thing and brought it down with just hit it on the back of its knee and it fell down. And it was really amazing to see how strong and good he was. And Lucian was doing, I don't even know what Lucian was doing, but he was doing amazing things to keep people moving forward. And when she was up at the front and she was leading everybody and she was, oh, Mom, you should have been there. It was the most amazing force of people I've ever seen. It was so good. And we got to the front and I put my hands on this nasty black Joe sitting out in the forest, and I was able to absorb all of it. It just, I don't know what my body does, but it just ate all of the blackness and it just vanished.
Are we there for that? Were we there
If you want
while she
to.
was talking? Oh, okay.
That brings me so much joy.
And I think, I don't know what I'm doing, but I could maybe try to help you.
I'll never turn down any chance to be able to return home.
So I'm gonna try hugging my mom and see if I can do something about that.
You can feel like the small bits, just the little traces that are left hiding in nooks and cranny of her mind and soul coming out and dissipating. And you hear her kind of breathe out as though she empties her lungs and just continues to breathe out some breath, some horrible sound like the howling of a storm through a small crack in a cave. Just this oh.
That was scary.
And she kind of loses her strength and kind of slumps, and you have to hold her up.
Are you, Mom? Are you okay?
Thank you. And you can see on her skin her complexion, although it looked normal before, you can just see something more radiant and natural and right. That something unseen that was bad has been made right.
Oh, it worked. I think it worked.
Well done, Denise.
Mom, I think you can maybe go home. We should have the Mimic King check. I don't know what he checks for, but hopefully he knows.
Please, let's here. I know how to check. And she reaches over to a plant and just grabs a berry from it and inserts it into the soft earth right in front of herself. And entwines her fingers together and raises them up, and you see a plant begin to grow out of the earth, perfectly healthy and clean. No sign, no trace of corruption. And with tears in her eyes, she looks at you. I can go home.
You can. You really can. Oh.
I'm gonna like grab the both of them and just sort of like, because I'm excited for them because this is really big.
The elves are going to need a good leader like you.
I haven't been home in so many years. I've been gone for so long. I can't believe how long it's been.
They will welcome you home. You've been saved from the corruption.
And your daughter's a bit of a
You
hero.
saved her from the corruption. Am I even a healer?
Yeah.
Am I a healer? I don't think I'm a healer.
I will go home as soon as I can. If you're willing to take me so I can get there faster.
Yes. We have to meet with the king. Do we want to do that first, and then can we take her home?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah, as you head on your way to the plaza room, the king is just like, "All right, yeah, I'll see you in a minute. It's all right." And
okay.
You can return her.
Oh no, aren't we talking to the king first, or?
No, he's like, "Yeah, you just do what you're doing.
Okay.
It's all right."
Okay.
And
all right, so
you can return her back to the forest, back to the same plaza that you went to before, where things went so awry. And take the short journey, because the town you went to, the village you went to before, is not actually where you grew up. It's a different one. So you actually make the journey back to your home, to the village where you grew up, where your mother raised you until she had disappeared. To the town, to the great trees, to the old trees that you remember from your childhood, the ones that she planted literally over 100 years ago She shows you.
So green.
She shows you the orchard of birth, which is the lineup of every tree that is planted, one for each member of this community. There is one tree, a cherry blossom tree, which was planted at your birth, that is exactly as old as you are.
Oh,
Guys, it's exactly 24 years old, so it's not very tall.
No, not particularly. And you can see her tree over a ways away, and it is quite enormous.
wow.
I am home. I'm going to return to my bed and sleep in my bed.
Wait, hold on. Denise is 24?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, Lucian had the same reaction, just like, oh, young. Huh.
Yeah, I'm like 100.
Oh.
Like, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm
Y'all
still
are
young for a dwarf, but
Kronk, how old are you?
Takes off his shoes.
20 sounds right.
20?
20, 21.
Huh.
Well, we don't count.
Counting is hard.
Tell me about it.
Well, that makes you the old one there, Win. Hmm.
I mean, to be fair, I spent most of it, like, wandering around, like, not really doing
Your
dwarf
primary
things.
occupation during most of that
adventuring
lifetime
for a
was
while.
drinking.
Sounds like a good life to me.
And like I said, I'm still only like 25-ish in like
Dwarf years, yeah.
relation to
Yeah.
So as far as maturity-ish goes,
Lucian is
almost at
definitely
like 34.
So yeah, your mother is
Yes,
going to go return to her place of living, the place that has been set aside and left empty because they didn't know if she was alive or dead. It's been sitting there for quite a few years, most of your life. It's been empty.
Yeah, well, 10 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's close
When I was
to
14.
around half, a little less than half now.
Mhm.
All right.
It's so good to see you returned home. I'm sure you will have an excellent time.
Well, it's not exactly the same. Things have changed. And she kind of spreads her arms out, like looks to show you this place, and it is a little different than you last remember. Spirits from the deep wood are now freely wandering through the elven wood. The most of the life trees, such as like yours, that is the same age as you, have spirits going around curating them and taking care of them, inspecting them, and beautifying them on a level of their growth, specifically going to every flower and making sure that it spreads out and opens perfectly, and that the branches do not crisscross or tangle into each other, but that they grow out in a perfect but very natural and organic pattern.
Awesome.
Cool.
I almost want to stay, but we have a lot of things to get done.
This place
I'll have to
will
come back and
always be
visit
here
you
for you.
soon.
Didn't have that before, so that will be enough.
I will always be here for you.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh. All right.
I think We're good then.
Out of game, that conversation made me very sad because I realized that Lucian's mother will outlive her. That is very sad.
It is really sad.
Wait, will outlive who?
Outlive Denise.
Oh.
That's really sad.
I mean,
So it goes.
Yeah.
Wait, Lucian's mother, you mean Denise's mother?
Denise's mother will outlive Denise because she is an elf.
Yeah.
And
Isn't it
Denise
half
will
elf,
live
yeah.
to, I think, like 120
yeah.
around. And her mother
No,
will.
because you said Lucian's mom. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, yeah, she's a demon. Of course she's gonna outlive me.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guess you better have a baby.
Okay.
Get on that, girl.
Ew, electric boogaloo.
So
Part 2. Ugh.
Oh man.
that would be a great middle name.
Boogaloo?
No, part 2. Instead of Junior.
There you go. Part 2.
The sequel.
Denise, part 2.
All right, so you all return to the castle. Is this correct? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have nothing else to do in the forest.
All right.
Unless you want to go climbing
Are we
trees
gonna
with
do
me,
the
Crumb.
banquet next?
You can climb trees.
I mean, we can spend some time climbing trees. We don't have to narrate it, though. I think the viewers have seen you climb enough trees
Successfully
And
climb all
other
the
things as well.
and many other things.
I don't know. Is Crunk gonna fail climbing a tree like the side of a house?
probably.
That was what I was aiming for.
All right, why don't you roll that, the two of you. Why don't you roll both of you roll your athletics or acrobatics. You take your pick.
They both suck.
And also,
Okay, well,
Lucian, how many times do you cast prestidigitation?
oh, like just to keep clean?
Yeah.
Constantly.
All right.
no.
The beauty of this, Crunk gets a 24 and pretty much just like backflips up this tree.
Doing pull-ups on the branches.
I knew you could do it, Crunk.
Denise very, very skillfully like climbs and almost like squirrel-like, kind of like chitters up the branches. And Wynn runs up and just hugs the base of the tree and then falls off.
And just jumps like this.
And it just like sticks. And feels up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wynn.
It's okay. I should have known better than to try.
Well, you're wearing all
This
that
one
armor.
branches are a little far up there.
No. Let me show you how it's done. And then Lucian just walks up the tree.
Walks up the tree?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like he just walks over and then just starts walking like this.
Float, right?
Yep.
Oh, right.
Wynn, your armor begins to kind of change and morph. It becomes this black armor, lightly plated with metal, but like along your arm are these little spikes out to aid you in climbing. Literally underneath along your wrist are these small little like fang-like hooks to help you climb. Why don't you roll your climbing again?
Okay. Do I have to do athletics is
10. You get up halfway up the tree this time, and your armor appears to be doing most of the work, as it literally the claws are like extending out to grab in, and you're just kind of flailing there while it's trying to hold you up. And eventually, the
I
little
wasn't ready.
thin piece of bark that it's holding onto breaks off, and you fall back onto your back.
Oh no.
That's okay. I'm okay.
I come back down. Do you need some healing? I can cure you.
I didn't take any damage.
Okay.
accept my pride.
I feel shame as a bonus action.
That is how I describe this game to other people. Is like, combat-wise, I barely deal any damage to you. However, emotionally, you've been destroyed through this campaign.
Lots of falling out of trees.
My emotional armor class is like a -4.
We're all broken characters. It's okay.
All right.
Wow.
Now do you go back to the
Crump
castle?
is the most like emotionally whole of us.
That's because my brain is.
Except for the
Yeah.
Yep. I'll come to
Anyway,
a head one
Well,
day.
now I think it's Denise actually.
Yeah, now it's
Might be the
Denise is
together of all of us.
probably
Yeah.
the most mentally healthy.
Yeah, my mom's happy. She's back. I'm good.
Yeah, that would be a great thing to be able to do in real life, is I fix my problems with magic.
I just hug it out.
Literally.
Oof. That got real fast there.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Only.
Oh, so let's go talk about our dead friend that we don't remember. That sounds great.
he was more than a friend to me,
And to me.
literally.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's
We're
right.
both right.
All right, so back at the
Same
castle,
responsibility.
in the throne room, the king says, I have actually the need to speak to you about both of your companions. First, Sebastian.
Mhm.
He is... He sent a short message explaining to Win how to bring him back.
Wait, what?
We can bring him back.
It's not easy.
Oh really? I thought it would just be like I would snap my fingers and then all of a
I
sudden
thought we hugged people and it worked. I don't.
I was just gonna shoot something out of my fingertips and then
Win,
all right, lay it on me.
Catty. I like it.
with actions sufficiently heroic, historic, and world-changing, you can meet the final end of a dwarf. The ultimate goal. To become a dwarven god. And then you
I
can
should've
bring
thought-
him back.
So wait, she has to become a dwarven god?
That's it. Just has to become a god.
That's it.
Yes.
All right, that sounds easy enough.
I'll tell you from experience, it's harder than it looks.
Did it work?
Now you might need to try a bit harder.
Bite your lip and give it hell.
Ugh.
Win, you're a little lightheaded.
Yeah, a little bit.
Actually,
Yeah.
I am a little.
Kind of feel a little woozy, like kind of
Whew.
the ground's moving.
So we need to do something unprecedented by dwarven kind standards to...
I thought that's what I was doing.
Yes, true, you have made it farther than most dwarves. But the space for new dwarven gods becomes smaller as each new one is made. Each one is supposed to be
What, do we just
distinct.
clear out space?
Is there a finite number of dwarven gods there can be?
Each one needs to be distinct from all pre-existing ones.
I mean,
The god of mimics?
Could be.
Excitement.
I don't think that that's a deep connection that the rest of the dwarven kind share. And that is an important factor. You need to inspire the dwarven people. you-
Well, I mean, I do have an element, right?
And the essence of who you are inspires them. so much that their collective belief in you makes you a god.
Okay.
So we need to make you well known for something specific. Or clear out space in the Pantheon, either way. Probably not that, though.
You're literally talking to a dwarven cleric.
Yeah.
Was it about
I mean,
caring about social things?
Among friends, it was a joke. Probably.
It's gonna be okay. I won't tell. I won't tell.
The next subject is much less pleasant. Your brother, Crunk, hangs in the balance between the fate of you as a living and free being and as Sebastian, one lost to all memory. And there is only one solution I can find. I have spent countless hours trying to find a way to fix this problem. But the only one that is there is heartbreaking to me. I can, with much of my strength, remove the blade. He will not be forgotten, but he will die. And he can be put to rest.
I have to do.
I just
I mean-
go and like put my arm around Crunk as much as I can.
Pat him on the shoulder.
Pat him on the knee.
This way. And he brings you down into the lab that you had been in before, the one where you spoke to the dark elf and where he had performed the procedure to subdue the ithilid tadpole that is in her brain. And he goes back to the curtain that he had closed to hide away a portion of the lab from you and draws it aside.
Hmm.
And there, laying upon a stone table, is Nock, the human barbarian, with an enormous, cruel, jagged blade right in the center of his chest. You can see his breath. He still breathes, and you can see that he's as in an unquieted sleep. He mumbles and winces in pain, but does not wake. This needs to end. I can't hear you. Fan?
He deserves better than this.
Hmm.
He did.
No way for him to be.
What's going to happen to you?
I have a method to try to give you the strength you need. The wounds that you've sustained in your mind may interfere with your ability to carry out this task for your brother's good.
Just tell me what to do, I'll do it.
Again, it is not pleasant. I have taken much time to research the ithalids that have wounded you, and of their flesh is the solution. Lucian, I believe that you have the tadpole that was given to you. The wounded one.
Yes, of course. Produces it.
You just keep that in your pocket?
Where else am I going to keep it?
I don't know. I've got a chest that's got like some coconuts and stuff in it, like in my room.
I wouldn't leave this out of my sight. Right.
Never mind.
Distraction.
Fine. Sorry.
It's
It
here.
just seems soggy.
This creature is wounded and cannot do what it is instinctually designed to do, which is to break through your skull and eat your brain.
Ooh.
Oh,
To
More
complete this
gross.
process, you need to help it. Place it in your mouth, but do not kill it.
what?
Kronk has to eat it?
It will
No.
break
just hold
through
it.
the thin part of bone in your mouth and enter your brain. And there, it will try to take your mind from you. And I will stop it. And I will bind it to your will. And you will use the children of your enemies as a shield against them.
Gross.
What?
Pick it up. How big is this thing?
It's like a small snake, like I believe like just shy of 2 feet.
The most dangerous noodle.
And this,
Damn it, Dak, this is serious.
this is going to help my brother rest.
Oh, a 2-foot-long snake?
Some are longer than others. This will bring my brother peace.
It will. Otherwise, the wounds in your mind will prevent you from doing what you have to do. They will assault you, and you will draw the blade too fast, and he will be gone.
So,
I put it in.
so the rest of us will still not remember, right?
If this goes wrong, no one will remember. If this goes right, he will be dead, but you will remember him.
Okay.
You feel a very, very sharp pain just at the top of your throat. And then the Mimic King places his hand on your forehead, gripping it with impressive strength, holding it perfectly still. And you can feel forces in your head. You can literally feel as if a battle is being done. Forces, literal strikes of power pushing around.
Can I be holding his hand while this happens at least?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Crunk, does that hurt, Denise? To hold your hand?
If you like,
Or are,
Let me roll.
yeah, okay,
I'll
or
roll.
are you calm? It can definitely
I'm
go
not
both
calm.
ways.
I'm not calm.
Okay. Yeah. It hurts a bit to hold his hand as he grips with the like a person who's having dentistry without anesthetic, or something. It's pretty brutal. And
Plus, he's a barbarian, so.
Yes, but
I can't imagine
Drunk.
going through that.
I have a danger noodle in my
Can
brain.
I hold Denise's hand so that she.
Team. Danger noodle team.
Crunk, fight it with me.
Well,
Crush it. Force it down. Make it do your will. Break it. Could you please roll me probably one of the more dangerous rolls that we're gonna do probably throughout this campaign? And please roll me.
oh, wait, what's the. Which one did we pick? The wisdom thingy thing? The totem or whatever?
This is pure.
you have, like,
This is all
guidance
him.
or something, right?
This is
Oh.
all him.
Guidance is
Crunk,
different.
make me a saving throw of your choice, whatever you think is most appropriate.
Oh no.
I feel like you should make him justify it.
I'm going to.
You're gonna use advantage, maybe?
I'm going to use my advantage that I got tonight.
I was gonna say, I've got a spell for this.
And as much as I would love to use strength, I'm going to use Constitution.
Ooh, okay.
I've got enhance ability.
You literally flex what you can inside your mind.
Gotta break a mental sweat too.
Like your brain meats.
Someone donated 500 bits to give you another advantage.
Yay.
So I get double secret advantage?
No, just hold on to that other one for later.
Okay.
And let's roll this roll. Please do good. I really want you to do good. A 19 and a 17. It continues to get worse. You literally begin to hear a buzz in your ears of, like, sight, sounds, and smells begin to assault you as different parts of your brain are activated as a battle goes on in it. It gets worse and worse until you can't see anything anymore. You can't hear anyone around you. It's just a droning of every type of every sense striking you. And then everything goes silent. And you feel like a person who, and I'm going to use metaphors of modern life, so Crunk doesn't get this, but you feel like a person who has lived their entire life as a passenger of a vehicle. And you're now put in the driver's seat. Literally, the functions of your mind are at your whim. You can grab the part of your brain that activates anger and turn it on. You can grab the part that activates happiness and turn it on or off. You can take the part of your brain that sees things and play with it. Everything in your mind is your plaything to do with as you will.
Crunk, are you okay?
Think so?
The first words that come from you don't emanate from your mouth.
What did it taste like?
Wait, so we hear it in our heads?
Denise hears Crunk's response in her head.
What was that?
What was what?
He talked to my head?
Crunk?
What? Oh, yeah.
So
Did it
are we all
work?
hearing it in our head now?
He gets to choose how he does that. It's instinctual now to speak through his mind, but he has full control to speak verbally if he wants to.
Can I tell the difference? Can I consciously know which
Yeah,
one I'm
yeah,
doing,
absolutely.
right?
Yes. You are
Okay.
more conscious of it now than you ever would have been in your entire life.
Apparently, I can talk with my brain. And then
What?
with my brain, I look at Lucian and say, See what I mean?
Yes. Just
Cool,
like
huh?
taking a few steps back and pointing. Are you all right?
What's going on?
Think so? Feel. I don't know how to put it. I feel more awake than I ever have before.
Like, you just had a bunch of coffee? Or like, you just had a bunch of cocaine?
It's mind powder in this world.
I can't explain it. I
Well, I guess if you could talk with your brain now. That's
with my
cool.
brain, I tell Win, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Ugh. Your brain voice sounds different.
Does it?
Yeah. Like, your brain voice sounds different than your outside voice.
We have to figure out a way to differentiate between when you're speaking out loud and when you're speaking in your brain.
I think me, Thanrand, will indicate.
Yeah, what's the default though?
The default will be with my voice because I
Yeah.
don't want to freak people out.
That's
I
a
want
good
to
call.
use it to freak people out.
Until you do.
Well, that's fascinating.
Man.
Fascinating.
Oh,
Yes,
I
this is
get
the word. Yes.
You know what that word means.
I do. I know what a lot of words mean. This is weird. There's a lot going on. What do I feel with the glass wall? What do I
You feel like your entire perspective before was a dumbing down of it for your mind to understand. At this point, to you, it's both more complicated and more simple. It's this thing that you can see and control. It is now, this glass wall is your shield. It protects your mind, and you have full control to morph it and shape it. And it is possibly stronger than the power of your body. It is now the strength of your mind.
So the dirty stuff is still there.
But you have entirely the ability to
But
confine it or control it or reveal it or whatever you want to do.
how do I help my brother now?
Reach into his mind. You will sense how much of him is there. And slowly remove the blade. If he begins to waver, go slower.
This is good advice.
And
for many
I
things.
will oversee and contain the magic.
The rest of us help at all.
Lend me your strength. And actually, if you are choosing to do so, please roll a con save. As he literally drains like life out of you to be able to power this magic.
Ew.
Why did I roll three times?
Can you just roll a new one and we'll forget all of those?
That would be wonderful.
22.
22 from Denise, a 10 from Win, and a 10 from Lucian.
Well,
Being the one to hold Krunk's hand, that would be a good
Makes
thing,
sense.
I'm assuming.
And you begin to
Are you still holding my hand?
you begin to extract the blade from him. The Mimic King holds his arms out, and his arms begin to branch and break apart into multiple pieces, making kind of a Faraday cage or antenna sort of thing just surrounding the whole proceeding, emanating. You can see literally like heat waves of magic pouring down on Tunok's body as Krunk begins to
People are seeing this, right?
remove. Yeah, you all see this. Yeah, and this is what he's extracting life out of you in order to do this. And so, Win and Lucian, you'll both take a level of exhaustion because he pulls it out, the life from you, to be able to fuel this power. And you can, Kronk, you can feel like the vibration of a string. You can see the thoughts, the patterns, the activity in Nock. You can see that every time you pull just a smidge faster, he begins to waver and weaken like a heartbeat. And you slow down, and he's able to maintain not his life, because as you remove the blade, he dies more and more, but his soul remains stronger.
I, with my mind, I try to tell my brother, it's okay, stay calm, everything is going to be okay.
No words come back to you, but you can feel the terror and the pain that he's going through.
I just try to talk to him while I'm doing this to just kind of ease him up a little bit, I guess. Just whatever I can do.
You can see that as he becomes more terrified, his soul becomes weaker, and your words hold him, keep him from completely dissipating until the blade is entirely removed, and his soul remains for just one moment more after his heart ceases to beat. And he leaves as a complete and unbroken and unforgotten person.
I think we did it.
The Mimic King
I remember him.
returns to his kind of more standard shape, but you see the color is extracted from him in a very literal sense. He appears to be very gray, and since his clothes are a part of him, like all of him just appears to be a bit gray, life and color drained out of him. I will need to take time to recover.
Do you guys remember?
Yes,
Yeah.
entirely.
It worked.
See like a tear roll down his cheek a little bit. Just one.
I'm gonna give you a hug. That was a lot.
I hug back.
I hugged them and I kind of drag Lucian over to like stand
Yes,
next to
yes,
us.
Of course. Hmm.
What do I do with this sword?
I would give it to the keeper to put alongside its sibling, to never be seen again.
I would like that very much.
They deserve to be forgotten as well.
Can you stab the sword with the other sword? And like,
It can't die, so no.
Yeah, I just had a thought. What happens if someone is stabbed with both that sword and the soul-taking sword at the same time?
well, the other one you need a crit.
Yeah, I have that. That's mine,
Well-
right? We're talking about the Whispering Blade?
I believe that if both of those blades were to activate their powers at the same time, the soul would be forgotten and ripped apart, torn between the two powers. It would be a fate worse than
Either.
than either on their own.
Good
No.
to know.
Lucian.
What?
Yeah.
What? What?
Who the hell are you gonna stab with 3 swords?
Just two?
It's
Oh, I
okay.
guess you don't need one. Okay. But, I mean, no, just no.
No one should have this sword. It's cruel beyond imagining.
And the Mimic King sinks through the floor, going off to rest. Because he's quite worn out.
Yeah, I
Understandably.
can imagine. Ugh.
All right. Well, even though it's not quite 7 where I'm at yet, let's take a break. I think. Let's
Yeah,
do that,
probably a good idea.
and
It's a lot of heaviness.
we'll be back in a minute. How y'all been doing? How's this all been? Thoughts?
Oof. That's a lot.
Oh, mind bendy.
Yeah, you all pushed
I
all the
seem to be
emotional
tired.
stuff towards the end, so it kind of all happened together.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Surprise. When we get back, I got a little bit more for us. So yay.
All right. We'll be back in a little bit. Bye. Hello, everybody. We are back. After all of that emotional stuff, people have had a chance to clear out their systems in multiple different ways, and 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 we're gonna get back to it. Do you want to be still in the lab downstairs, where is the body of Nock, or do you want to move on from that location?
Well, I would say I'd like to
Yeah, let's just
maybe bury him, have a ceremony. We don't have to like roleplay.
I would say on the way. I mean, if you want to get started with that, Lucian would probably go and deliver the sword to Keeper.
All right.
That lockdown.
Yep. He'll lock that in with the other one. And if we want to, we can really quickly describe the funeral of Nock, because you would bring him probably back to your tribe, and they would do a very basically a Viking funeral, but they don't put him on a boat. They just put him on a pile of sticks and light the
Darth
fire.
Vader in Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
Can I, so Wynn has proficiency with brewer's tools,
Yeah.
and I would say that
Where is this going?
hold on, she'd been brewing something special. She was gonna open it when we finally managed to bring him back, and
Oh, okay.
so I guess now would be a good time to pull that out.
Okay.
And
You have access to the facilities of the Mimic Castle and all that to help you along with that. So, can you roll? What is the roll for those? Is that with?
I don't even. I figured I would just be able to do it.
Right. I'm pretty sure you click on the tool, and then you just select what kind of skill it goes in with.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what you would want. me to roll.
Why don't you roll? What deity are you attached to exactly?
Tamora, the goddess of good fortune.
Okay. Okay, then why don't you roll
Medicine.
functionally, you know what, medicine. That's probably the best one. That's probably the closest one. Probably roll that at advantage, because you get the stuff. So that's a total of 17. So yeah, you've got what is this based in? What kind of alcohol is this?
Probably some sort of mead.
Okay.
Because I'm not really much of a wine girl, so.
It is an excellent.
And I highly doubt Crunk or Nock would have been either.
Fair.
He wouldn't have cared.
But I would think that would have been something that we would have bonded on before, and something that would mean something to her now.
Crunk's mother would pat you on the head, say thank you, take it, and drink it all in one swig. And then throw the bottle into the pyre.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's what my plan was, but okay.
And she picks you up in a hug.
Aww. Lots of mom hugs tonight. I like it.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like when you were trying to climb that tree.
I'm like hugging her back as best as I
Don't
can
use
with
the
only
spikes.
half of my already short arm.
Don't use the spice on my mom.
All right.
I would say that Crunk spent most of the time just standing next to the pyre, just staring into it.
Yeah.
And Lucian would be telling tales of like Nock and just leading the like, and then he did this amazing thing, and
Over
just like,
remembering.
What's
What's
the
the
percentage
memory.
of truth and lies in that storytelling?
probably about a good 80-20.
Which way?
It's not a lie, it's just embellishment.
Exactly.
Which way is that 80-20 going though?
I mean, depends. You want me to roll persuasion or deception?
No, you don't need to roll anything. I'm just
Cool.
thoughts.
No, it would actually probably be more like 50-50 because there was a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
And so we would just amp it up a little
Well,
bit
and the
more.
way that his last fight was quite epic. The hag attacked him and he literally ripped its arm off while it stabbed him.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Good stuff.
We dove into the pit to save Win.
yeah,
Just
that's pretty
usually-
awesome.
He throws me
definitely.
the axe, and
Oh,
I'm just,
yeah.
oh my god, yeah.
That was amazing. Pretty sure that's what like got us together as a party to say we never
Really
ever want to
was.
stop doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, yay! I almost died.
It was the
Hooray.
best moment, though. It is one of the best moments in
Yeah.
all of gaming that I've had.
Yeah. Oh, it was super
Um,
cool.
So what is the next scene? What happens next? Are we going to go to the feast? Is that what you want to do next?
Yeah, we should probably do that next.
Yeah, let's get
A quick side thing.
Hmm.
Lucian is going to start sending out messengers,
Ooh.
like all over the place, and they're all carrying a sealed letter.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
all right. Then keep your secrets.
At the feast. So does this feast take place inside the castle? Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
There
We
are
made
a,
a
it takes
beautiful
place in
banquet
a
hall.
courtyard.
there are a lot
It looks
of
like it's outside.
there are a lot of wild, like the wilds. It's a very, very large tribe of people. They united a third of all the wilds people there. So like, there's a lot of them. Or I guess a
We have a
fourth.
flippin'
but-
mimic castle.
We
It's-
have a mimic castle.
Yes, yes. Just making you aware, the room has made itself enormous. Is full of just tons and tons of them. What
That's fine.
did you specifically contract any specific people, or what was your avenue for making the food? Did you just have
Oh.
mimics make it, or yeah, just mimics? All right.
I guess, yeah. Mimics.
Yeah, I don't see
Put
why
in the
not.
Yep,
Won't
they're good
yeah.
at making food. They tend
Cock
to
really likes
make
the breakfast. So,
slightly more refined food than these people are used to, but it tastes good. It just looks a little weird to them. They're like looking at these fancy cakes and stuff with multiple layers and like flowers on top, and they're just like, is that decoration or do we eat it? Like,
Yes.
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 Both. I would
which,
say
which,
that
which one of those chefs is the one that's always like, there's no point in any a decoration if you can't eat it.
I don't-
There's like, I want to say it's Anne. I don't know.
Amberell,
yeah.
Yeah.
less Amberell.
But I'm going to say that we would have given the mimics specific instructions to make sure that everything on every plate is edible.
yes.
Heck, the plate. Well, no, don't make the plates edible.
Oh.
You
Those
don't
are
want a sugar plate? I have a sugar plate.
Okay.
Do you?
Well then.
So, they're gathered, they're eating, they're not being civil in any way that could be thought of. Like, any way you twist or conceive that word, they do not fit that bill. What do you do?
So I'm assuming basically what we did was we have like one table, we have like a big, are we doing this like an outside open area? Or do we want to
It
do
looks
this like
like
in?
it.
Yeah, it's a
Okay, so big,
a roofless courtyard in the castle, as far as I'm told.
Okay.
There would be
so we'll probably have like
It looks roofless,
long
but there's
table.
actually it's a mimic roof.
so there's like long tables and I'm assuming this is not like I'm picturing like a lunchroom basically.
yeah, just as
Table.
fancy as you can get. Well,
And then
doing
there's
that, yeah.
one at the top of the room where we have like us and the important guys.
okay.
Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
you have the
Yeah,
chief
pretty
of
much.
the Tamers tribe with you. Any other important people invited?
Oh no, in case it goes wrong, no, it's just for them.
What about Dorkseed? What's his name?
Dorkseed. Blackshire?
Black-
Yes, thank you.
Blackshire is there.
Okay.
Dorkseed?
Look, I don't know where I got it either. I really have no idea.
This is our Dorman ambassador, everyone.
Whoa. Oh gosh. Alright.
All right. Well, this
So much
is
for my wisdom.
you have control over nearly everything in this entire scene. So why don't you tell me what's going on?
I'm going to eat the breakfast that I ordered.
So we're gonna want to talk to this guy about how are we gonna approach this? Should we be like, so some of our associates have had some issues with some of your associates, such
That sounds
as
like-
maiming and killing and general fuckery.
General fuckery.
Drunk does general fuckery.
That sounds like tact and intelligent conversation. I think we're a bit past that.
I
Crime.
kind of feel like I want Lucian to take the lead on this one.
Oh.
I don't. I tried already.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
Perhaps.
You can talk into their brains, maybe.
Crunk, I'm probably going to have you fight their chieftain just as a
Oh,
heads up.
that's it. Okay. Cool.
Okay. That.
I mean, okay.
What is the chieftain's name anyway?
He hasn't been important enough to have a name. So,
Yeah.
do you want to give him a name?
Billiam.
What?
Krager.
His name's not Greg.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, right.
Very nice, Michi. All right. So,
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like a good, a good, strong, powerful, chieftain of the tribe's name, and Jim.
Bjork.
York! It's from York.
York. I actually like York.
York. There we go.
all right.
Oh, I said Bjork,
Oh,
like the singer.
We'll go with York, and it probably means
York
something
is
a lot
fine.
longer if he were to say it out loud, but he's probably forgotten exactly how his entire name goes.
Castershire.
The bludgeoner.
York Majesty.
Actually, I do know somebody whose name is literally Your Majesty.
Oh, Your Majesty? Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is cool. I thought it was cool as fuck. Sorry, go on.
I know who you're talking about though. But yeah, so hello York, how have you been?
Fine. We've made out well after the war. Not as good as I'd hoped, but made out well.
I think there's been a bit of disappointment all around, honestly. It's been a bit of contention. I think we didn't entirely tie up loose ends, if you know what I mean.
If you mean you told us there would be war,
Yes.
and said that and agreed that we would be independent partners in it, but yet gave us nearly none of the reward for the war, then yeah, I agree with you.
It's funny, I wouldn't have put it that way whatsoever, in fact. But, and this is where I think we're having a bit of a difference of opinion. And I think we need to settle that, don't you? Because no one wants to have long-lasting hard feelings.
Mm-hmm. All right, well,
What's
the way that it's for me, and part of this is that I have to keep all of my men happy,
Mhm.
is we fought in the war just as much as everyone else did.
Mhm.
And the only reward we've gotten for winning the war has been the stuff we've taken ourselves. We've been giving nothing else.
And that's a big part of why we wanted you here today. One, to enjoy some spoils of war. You know, these are minor, obviously. But also, long-term planning. Because you can't exactly keep raiding a place that's already raided. Once you've taken all the good things, then what's left?
Yes.
So what would it be like if... And of course, you don't want to stop fighting, do you?
Well, I guess, yeah. I've got to keep people
What
in
if there
order.
Exactly. What if there was a place where that order could constantly be affirmed and tested, even with new people to test it against?
Well, I don't know what exactly you're talking about, but I have to present something to my men. Something solid. Something I can say, this is the reward, and have it stand in front of them and be worth it. We helped in a war conquering all known people.
You did.
And
you did indeed.
We piled up all of the loot that we've gotten, and it is disgraceful. I need to have a physical piece of loot, or pile of loot, better said, that is impressive, that all of my men can look at and say, yeah, it was worth joining a war for all that.
How about a really, really large building?
I think you're smart, and so I'm gonna say you probably have more to it than what it sounds like. But I'm gonna tell you that it sounds pretty bad.
Okay. I'll paint you a picture. A large building with...
And I'm gonna, like, while he's doing this, I'm going to, like, sort of make a picture appear, like a painting appear in front of him, made out of mimics. And as he talks, I'm going to make it sort of, like, draw on it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Wait, do you have thaumaturgy?
I have prestidigitation.
Do you have minor illusion?
No. Do you?
Okay, damn. I have both of them, but I don't think I can use them both at the same time.
I mean, I can have.
I like your mimic idea.
Yeah, no, the mimics work.
So have the...
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
So imagine this, and just it starts displaying a giant arena that the whole world will come to. People from places unknown, untold, creatures of unknown measure come to test their mettle in one place, your home. A place where might makes right. A place where people come to see the greatest warriors of the ages battle together for supremacy.
And even more than that, a place where people will come and pay you to see it. To watch your people.
And it will be mine.
It will be under the control of your tribe.
We can give you this. We can give you the land that you need. We can
We can build
funds.
it.
We can build it. We can have it built for you.
Hmm.
So it may seem like just a building, but
I see.
a legacy.
A legacy, eternal glory.
So, I get to set the rules in the arena, such as if I can present a beast that would beat your beast, then I can take the beaten creature and collect the unique creatures from around the world for myself.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
The head of your tribe would have that ability, unquestionably.
Are you thinking of changing the nature of our diplomatic relationship?
That entirely depends. Well, one of us went up against you. That didn't go so well.
Mm-hmm.
We lost. And we ended up as uncomfortable allies in this currently. We should settle that, don't you think? One way or another, either with you as entirely independent or as part of our grand alliance. I think either way, you still get the building. Only fair.
So, my men down there, I've got to control them.
Yes.
And although there's no one really worthy of challenging me within my tribe,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on kind of shaky earth. What if instead, because I don't care about most of the things that they care about, they care about a lot of nonsense that doesn't matter in the real world. What if I win? And I earn the right to entirely be independent, and then voluntarily give it up. I will look strong and smart instead of weak and dumb. If I let you beat me, I will not be chieftain by the end of the year.
And then there's an entire power struggle all over again.
If I win, I can forge this greater alliance. I can bind us together. But if I lose, we will never be united. I can't imagine.
I like you. So you want to take a fall, basically, in order to strengthen your position and strengthen our alliance.
I'm gonna say Nick, he's smart and he looks.
Here and now. Everyone's here.
So what do you think, Krunk? Is that acceptable to you?
It makes sense politically. Yeah, we get what we want. They get what they want.
Still not used to that.
In my brain, I'd say used to what?
Used to what?
A win situation.
Funny. We have your word that that's
I
how
say
it's
we-
going to go.
Yes. If you lose, I take control again and take a pact and put us back together. And I mean, if I lose, there's not much I can do. But I can guarantee you it won't go well.
You know your people better than anyone.
Where do we want to
Then
fight?
yes, we'll be. I don't see we can't give them a bit of a preview of what it's going to look like. Snaps his fingers and the ground starts peeling back into an arena. And the chairs that everyone's in start like rising into the arena structure.
Whoa, dude.
I'm assuming that the tables kind of go with them and take the food.
The
so that they
tables,
Yeah, absolutely.
the tables slice in half long way and stay with the people that are with them as the chairs and all those form into stadium seating around the fighting arena. The chieftain grabs his weapon, a enormous axe, where one side is an enormous black iron blade and the back side of it is a club made out of obsidian. And he jumps into the field. All right.
I guess one of us should use thaumaturgy and start
Announcing.
announcing.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies, gentlemen, and all you other babies.
Well, I mean, you have a lot of mimics, which are
Hello,
entirely
everyone.
genderless.
There.
So then Lucian would stand up and the light would coalesce towards him. Hello, everyone. We have a bit of entertainment for you this evening. Your chieftain has challenged us for the right of independence from our alliance. And I guess there's going to be a reaction to that.
Yeah, they're more kind of a mumbly, kind of like, was that a big deal? Like, a lot of them are not really sure. Like, they're like,
and
okay, I guess independence is good. Like, a lot of them haven't fully put into thought, like, the politics of alliances. But then they think about it like, oh wait, but that means a fight. Yeah!
And we accept this challenge
Yeah!
with our grand champion, Kronk, chieftain of chieftains.
There's a lot of yelling for that one. Assorted kind of booing and yelling, and a lot of people are excited, but a lot of people want him to lose. And it's quite wild. And about 8-foot tall barricades rise up out of the floor to keep the crowd from moving forward. And the chieftain holds his weapon up high and yells, "Start!" And roll initiative, please. Crunk.
Oh, that was my job.
You can do the Street Fighter thing though. You can do the Street Fighter thing if you want.
Fight! Dun, 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 dun.
it's been so long since I looked at this.
Don't want to get a copyright strike.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. And that's it. Less than 30 seconds.
I don't get advantage on initiative, do I?
No, not yet.
I didn't think so. I couldn't remember. Ooh.
6. Yep, he's going first for sure. So he runs forward and is going to attack you a couple times.
Oh, can we do any like? Can I retcon real quick? Do you want any like buffs or anything, or do you just want to? Oh wait, no, we're taking a fall. Never mind.
Yeah, we're taking a fall.
Yeah.
We have to make it look
Throw it.
good.
Fine. Yeah, I'm gonna make it look good. I'm gonna throw it.
So yeah, he's gonna attack you.
And I'm just like holding my sword at my side. I'm not even like really
Okay.
in a stance.
So he strikes you. What's your AC?
16.
Okay, so he hits you both times. Is gonna strike you. Dealing 12 damage with the first attack, and 12 damage with the second attack.
Nice.
And he kind of stands stoically and screams up the sky, more for the crowd's benefit than yours, and kind of twirls his weapon around a bit so that the club side is now facing you. And it's your turn.
I have the Whispering Blade. I go into a rage. And I reckless attack.
Ooh.
Do it. Do you want to describe a bit like how this rage works, both on the inside and the outside?
He can't tell I'm raging. I look bored. That's kind of my entire persona for this fight. That's why I was like standing there with the sword at my side and not ready to block or anything. I want to look bored.
So inside, you've got the rage going on, but with your control over yourself due to recent events, you make your exterior look calm and uninterested.
A little passive. Calm and passive.
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right, roll those attacks.
What's this? Crunk is showing no regard for the challenger.
19
19 will do.
for 19 damage.
Jeez.
23 for 20 damage.
Good thing he's raging too.
Mhm.
Or he would be really hurting.
As a bonus action, I'm going to
Can you miss on purpose?
If he wants
just
to.
wait.
He's not,
Just
though.
wait. I have to make it interesting. I'm gonna use my extension of thought to make him make a save against Khan. Or wait, he's making an intelligence save.
All right, how does a 9
15.
do?
He made a 15, so
All right,
he takes 1d10 psychic damage.
roll that.
Mm.
And his rage does not reduce that damage. A 9, very good.
9.
Yeah.
And then with my brain, I say, "This is going to be fun."
He sees the blades coming. He knows he's gonna get hit. The 2 sword strikes hurt a lot, but don't surprise him. But then the impact is you see a bit of blood drip from his eye. He's like, no, and he's going to reckless. Oh, actually, he doesn't need a reckless attack at you because you reckless attack, so he gets advantage.
Yep.
So he's gonna roll, and again, what's your AC? I forgot already.
Oh, yeah, 16.
16. Okay, yeah, he definitely beats that with a 19. And okay, so he rolled a 1 and a 2. So yeah, no matter what he's got, he misses the second attack. All right, but he's gonna hit you, and he's gonna deal 13 damage to you with that strike as he clubs you across the face with his the massive kind of spiked obsidian. I'll take you down. We will win. You're up.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It looks like the challenger is already having trouble landing hits.
That gets the crowd quite riled up.
Can I, as an aside,
Yep.
Can I assume he is similar statistically to me?
Similar, yeah.
Okay. So I can use myself as a baseline for what he can.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's an
So-
exceptional individual, but still, like, so are you. So, yeah, around where you're at.
Okay. I will do it again. I'm going to just step slightly to the right to kind of get to the side and reckless attack again.
All right, go for it.
23.
That'll hit.
18.
Yep, he gets hit.
27.
That will hit. Jeez.
21.
For 21 damage. Man. Yeah, you keep it's kind of there's a major contrast between your movements. You step lazily over to the side, and then your arm just kind of flicks forward quickly, slicing into his leg, and then whiplashing back. You spin around and bring the blade down on his shoulder, doing an entire pirouette, striking him, and then just kind of go back to kind of lazy stance, the blade half in front of you. And
I will actually this time not do any bonus action. I will just hold my sword up in front of me.
Mm-hmm. And he's getting angrier, and the crowd is getting more riled up by your kind of insulting way of fighting. And he's going to attack you again. We'll see how this goes.
Crunk isn't even taking him seriously. He must not view him as any kind of a threat.
Hits you and deals 10 damage to you. And then hits you again and deals it's a lot more. He deals 16 damage.
Oof.
He's just not measuring up to to you at all.
He's not. Okay.
He is going to try and yell at you, trying to not intimidate you, but just try and he knows he can't scare you away, but it's just gonna get really close and yell at you as loud as he can to try and push you away or make you flinch at the very least, get something out of you, because you're just not. It's your turn.
All right.
There we go. It looks like the challenger has finally gotten his footing under him, and he lands solid hits.
Yeah, and my demeanor will change to I'm paying attention. I'm fully invested. He's hit me a few times.
All right.
And go for my 2 reckless attacks.
That's it.
18.
18 will hit him.
21.
Jeez, wow. A lot of damage.
I mean, it's more than 11 every
That's
time.
his thing.
And then again for 16.
That actually misses.
Good.
Ooh.
I was going to make this one miss no matter what.
Okay.
So,
so he...
This one I will swing wide and just completely miss, and I will have a look of surprise on my face. Like in the anime, it's oh!
And
Looks like that lax attitude of Krunks is catching up to him.
And he is going to drop his weapon and run at you. He's going to kind of do a small leap and put his foot landing on your hands where you're gripping the sword to stand on it and then grab your shoulder and begin to punch you in the face. So he's standing on your hands, basically like you're giving him a lift up. And if you end up dropping the sword to make him fall, all the better, is his plan. So yeah, he's going to punch you. Actually, what essentially is happening is he's grappling you. It's a little bit of a weird grapple, but he's grappling you. So you get to make a acrobatics or athletics check. And since you're raging, you get advantage on strength-based checks. But so does he.
Crit.
So he got good, but not that good. What do you make happen?
When he I could see his foot coming for, so I could see where he's aiming.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to just drop my hands just a bit so that he misses.
Yep.
And then just pull the sword back and let him land on his butt. But then I'm going to wait and let him stand up. I'm not going to take advantage of him being prone.
Yeah, he lands and physically looks fine, but looks really, really mad and frustrated. and reaches over, grabs, and drags his weapon back to him. And it's your turn again.
Right? Like,
Going to
Kronk.
I'm going to swing twice, but I am going to aim at where he's blocking for both of these and intentionally be blocked for both attacks.
All right. You don't have to roll for that. He's doing his best to stop you, and you're a skilled enough person to purposefully fail. So yeah, you strike twice. Why did you roll performance, actually?
Oh, shit. Not at advantage.
No.
Can I use my advantage? I want to use my advantage. Shit.
That's a 4.
Yeah.
Um.
I should have said advantage first because I knew it would be bad.
Okay, so with the 4, you strike at him, and he, you know what? I'm gonna give him a chance to roll and try to cover that up a little bit. No, he gets a 5.
Oh my god.
So, have you ever seen those like really bad like movies about like, I don't know, Troy or something like that, where people are swinging at the air in front of each other?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you both swing forward, and like he blocks, and you strike on him, and it's both of those attacks, like actions, neither of them needed to be made because like your swing wouldn't have hit anyway, and you both look a little silly.
Lucian's gonna jump in on that one. What is this? Is Krunk just toying with him? Does he not have any respect? I guess, do I make a deception check on that one?
Is there any way I can use, like, prestidigitation to make, like, sparks fly or something?
Yeah. You can make small sensory effects.
Maybe give them another chance to make it seem cooler.
I like that, actually.
Yeah, you can throw sparkles around and just dazzle them a little bit, distract them. Why don't you roll performance as well?
Yeah.
Me?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm slightly better at it, but not much.
Total of a 20, that'll do. Yeah,
Okay.
you fire sparks and glitter and stuff out. In fact, like some mimics like help you out and like make shiny stuff popping around, and so that kind of covers that up. It still looks silly, and Lucian calls them out, but it doesn't look as stupid. It looks more like yeah, it looks like what Lucian was describing, as opposed to two people very, very, very fake fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. Phew.
A little bit of After Effect. We're good.
Yeah. Fix it in post.
So now it's his turn, right?
Yes, it is his turn, and he's going to reckless attack at you. And he will miss you, actually, on that first attack, unless you like want to try and fix that.
Did he miss bad?
No, not really. He was very close. Actually, what I would say is you can't make him like successfully hit, but you can make it look like a good fail. Like you can make it where you block and he's like swinging down on you, and you barely keep him from smashing your face.
I'll do that.
And then his second attack, that'll hit you. And he will do 12 damage. So yeah, the first strike, it like swings down on your blade and kind of knocks it a little bit loose, like kind of breaks your grip a little bit, and then the second one breaks through your grip and smashes into your face with the blunt end of the weapon. And now it is your turn. The crowd is getting excited, but they're starting to just slightly kind of peter off a little bit. The sparklers and stuff was exciting, but they're kind of getting like, okay, this is kind of just trading blows. This is very exciting. And they're starting to kind of mellow out a tiny bit if
Let's see.
people outside the fight want to influence that in any way.
Trying to,
if they care.
Because if he's close
Would it
to
be
where I'm at,
No, this is by touch.
Yeah, you've dealt a lot more damage than he has in this
yeah,
fight.
I'm down quite a bit.
Well, you're also raging, so you should have been regenerating health.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I will absolutely say that that is a voluntary power. You can choose not to do that.
Yeah, I will definitely not use that because I need it to be obvious.
Yeah.
I will actually.
Let's make things interesting, shall we? And Lucian's gonna cast Sickening Radiance in the arena.
Oh shit!
All right.
It's going to be to the side of both of them, so like it's become a hazard on the field.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Would it be possible for me to use control water and just sort of make it difficult terrain or something? Because that makes it harder to like.
I don't think you can actually do that
right?
like with control water in this case. However, that idea totally can go. That totally can go through.
Or I can
just
at
have the
least
mimics make it mud.
make it mud. Or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Is the idea is totally good. You
Okay.
you can totally.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. So now, the entire area is more muddy. It's more slick. Literally, the bricks begin to like rotate on themselves, just sucking up mud from the terrain like below the castle, and it becomes like slick. And then then the bricks don't set themselves all back flat the way they should be. Some are like off angles and jagged places where you could trip. All right, and now it is Krunk's turn. Is that correct? I'm getting lost.
Yeah, it's mine.
Oh no, yeah. It's your turn.
Yeah, it's still he didn't.
I'm going to, as if I feel like I have a chance of actually losing this fight, I'm going to try to back away and like away from the hazard of the thing. I'm gonna try to get away from that and back away from him just with a defensive stance.
All right. So are you using disengage?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so he will attack you with an opportunity attack, and he will miss. Nice. My gosh.
Uh-oh, Krug is on the defensive now.
Now he is going to
back up again.
yeah, they're like, okay, this is interesting. And he's gonna charge after you and swing again recklessly, and that's a hit. He's gonna deal another 12 damage. I roll the same damage for almost every single one. And then okay, that is that die is a 1 over there, and that one's a 20. So so he runs over and swings low with the club side of the blade and runs across your legs. In normal combat, this wouldn't be a danger. But since you are trying to let him win, this can go worse than it normally would if you let it.
Get thrown into the hazard. Get thrown into the hazard.
I want to hit the ground. I want to be knocked completely on my back.
So he swings and strikes at your legs, and like you hear like a bone in your shin snap, and you fall sideways. And then once you're on the ground, he just swings back around and strikes you again, like on your like kind of shoulder that what's pointed up, and strikes you and strikes you and strikes again, and checks if you're still moving. And if you don't move, raises his weapon, says, "I win! We are victorious!"
Victory to York!
As he's celebrating and everyone's cheering, with my mind,
fireworks.
with my mind, I want to say to him, "You know you would not have won enough fair fight."
However,
I just need you.
and he's addressing
Everybody
his
else.
clan now, his tribe. However,
Denise
they have.
is gonna
Yep.
Denise is gonna rush out there and make it look like she's like super duper concerned and like do the whole like cure wounds thing.
Yeah.
Krunk legit has a broken shin. Please fix.
I'm gonna cast Beacon of Beacon of Hope. Which any number of creatures basically regains the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing.
Ah.
Oh.
So
Nice.
the cure wounds deal. You don't roll. You just deal maximum healing to him.
Oh, okay.
Nice. That's a very useful one. That's super
Especially in an arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
So he addresses his tribe and says, "They have been good in this fight. Worthy opponent. And I do not want to be alone. We need good challengers in our future. We need good fights. And I think that good friends are more likely to provide that than bad enemies." And now, I'm going to give him advantage because he just did an awesome fight, but he is going to have to roll persuasion for his people. Okay. An 8 and a nat 20.
All right.
That was very close. I was thinking, what happens if he fails? Like, you just basically get a riot.
Riot.
But no, yeah, they apparently are totally into this. And
That's an English soccer game.
he continues to explain, like, this right here is what I plan to do for us. This will be our occupation, is this kind of fighting. And they're into it. So yeah, the chieftain York turns around and kind of gestures as like, could you get these things out of the way, indicating to like the barricades and the area of sickness or whatever
Drop
it is.
it. Make everything like.
We'll let him do that.
Make everything like easy to access again.
And he will approach the table of the Mimic Knights and says, "Who will represent your nation in the pact?"
Do we want Krunk to do it or Lucian?
Krunk,
or-
Yeah, I'm making my way back over there.
Okay, cool.
Healing every 6 seconds.
Our chieftain shall be our representative.
More than happy. Sure.
I just walk up behind him and I put a hand on his shoulder and just like make eye contact with him and grin. And then and with my brain I say it'll be our little secret.
The tradition of our people is to drink in merriment and misfortune together. And so he indicates for one of the elders from his tribe to come over, and they bring him 2 small bottles, and a cup, and not a cup, a bowl, a wooden bowl. Within this one is contained mead, merriment, and he pours it into the bowl. Within this one is contained venom, sorrow, and he pours it into the bowl. Take a drink, and I drink too. And he drinks half of the liquid and hands the other half to Krunk.
Should have given it to Denise.
Chug it.
It hurts. You would take damage, but we won't worry about that because you'll have plenty of time to heal it. All
Just
that.
gonna heal it
But
again.
yeah, it hurts. It's not good. It causes a bit of indigestion later.
I'll shut off my rage, by the way.
Is that like? Is it like a poison or is it like a
it's
type of alcohol?
no,
like,
it's a venom. It's
that
literally
crack?
like venom from his giant spider.
Oh, okay.
Whoops. Sure
Looks like that
was.
black
Yeah.
spiced rum, the Kraken. That
Mhm.
shit's nasty.
Maybe should have been me.
All right. Well,
Oh,
you've
poison.
you've
Could I have
successfully
touched his
yes.
cup before he took it?
Let's say if I'm poisoned, you can just take care of it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Slurp it up, baby.
Hey.
Big slurp.
What is that, Denise? What are you saying?
Could I have touched his cup before he took it? Just like passing it down?
Well,
How about you just like
no,
put
the
your
way
hand
it
on
was
my-
is like Crunk is standing right in front of him. The bowl has venom and mead in it. He drinks, hands it to Crunk. Crunk drinks.
Oh.
They both take
Yeah.
half of the
I don't
venom
think it's
slash
enough
alcohol.
to really worry about.
each.
So, like,
Okay,
maybe your
so then
hand
I'm
is
just
just
gonna
on
have
me.
my hand on
Oh
him
yeah, no,
as he's drinking.
yeah. If you do that, yeah, he'll be guaranteed to be fine. Yeah, you've united literally all known peoples now.
Hey.
Make the cleanse. All right, mission accomplished.
And
I
I'd
never
like
knew
to close off, unless you have anything else you want to do in this scene, I'd like to close off with one last scene before we end the session.
Sure.
A few days later, Lucian is outside for some reason. What is that reason? Why would you be outside?
You would be outside mostly interacting with the clouder of mimic cats that have been created these days.
All right, so
Like reports.
the kind of situation of kind of peaceful slash we're interacting with cats, so well the peace is not exactly true. It's some amount of chaos. When one of them falls from the sky,
A cat?
yes, a mimic cat falls from the sky, landing on its side. It looks scratched and wounded. It lands on its side next to you.
No, oh, goodness. What happened?
And then floating
Looking
down
to hear.
from above, whatever dropped it, lands an imp.
Uh-oh.
It's like standing up and cradling the cat. Really? Really?
She sends regards.
Oh, is this the imp that was like last time?
Yes.
Oh,
You've seen this imp once before on the shoulder of your mother's throne.
yeah. Is this how she sends regards? Rude, right? Well, is she coming or not?
Your mother's castle approaches.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Well, do come in.
No, thank you.
I would also feel like his mimic bracer might be kind of like leaning towards the imp a little bit.
The Red Empress approaches. Keep your eyes on the lookout for her and despair.
All right, when I should set a proper welcoming.
A few small wars need to be fought to come here, so the date may be variable.
Well, are you staying for communication or?
No.
Come on now. Well, one of them is going with you to act as a messenger. Thank you very much.
You may try.
Your mom's not very nice.
Okay, so there's an imp in front of
Yep.
me?
And it's just him alone, right?
Yep.
In that case, I like stand to his full height. He was being like genial and nice and,
Mhm.
you know, like his usual poisonously sweet self. And-
We just got a raid from Never Split the Party. Thank you very much.
Hey, welcome.
Never do it.
So we'll just like stand up to his full height and like looking down at this imp. Remember who you're speaking to. You're below my station.
And he gives a bow that seems to be like automatic, like that's what he does. And he bows to you. My apologies, Your Highness. I am on direct orders. I must return. I am the eye behind her throne, and she misses me.
As do I, and much better this time. Now then, take one of my eyes with you.
I will take it,
We are, after all, family.
but I cannot guarantee its safety. Her will is her own.
This is not harmful. And I'll make something very clear. You're responsible for its safety. Now run along.
Yes, Your
And
Highness.
do tell the Empress, I am very excited to see her again soon.
I know that she is as well. Which one of these things do I take?
That one. And pointing to the one that's got like the black one with like little white spotting on it.
Come here, small monstrosity. He picks the cat up under the stomach and begins to flap and fly away.
Can I just say that, like, I'm kind of imagining Wynn, like, looking out the window or something, and she just sort of, like, sees this, like, fly by, and she's like,
Uh,
"Fox? Excuse me."
Uh,
I like that.
Looking down and seeing Lucian, like, watching and, like...
Oh yeah, he's gonna go back inside and go to the throne room.
All right.
We should have, like, some sort of signal, like, can you make the castle, like, ring a bell or something?
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's,
Probably.
like,
Oh yeah, I don't see why not.
be like,
So you want to gather the Mimic
Yeah, I guess
Knights?
you would like.
the throne
Oh yeah,
room.
you would want to gather the Mimic Knights.
Assemble!
Okay.
Mimic Knights assemble!
Assemble!
Hmm.
You have to say what your room sounds like. I feel like they'd all be different.
Crunk is just, it's just a stone bell. It's just cling, cling. All right, so the Mimic Knights
Frank
are
were probably off playing, so we'd come in together.
are summoned, and y'all can speak.
So, there was
Hi.
this... Something stole one of your cats. Did you see that? I
Oh,
didn't
not
want to
stole.
shoot it because I didn't want to hurt it, but...
And Lucian is like sitting in his throne, stroking the injured cat and like healing it with mimic powers, like stitching it back together. Oh no, that's going back as a messenger. Good news, everyone. My mother's coming to visit.
That's not.
Wasn't she dead?
Oh right, no. Wait. Didn't we have that?
No,
whole
you
thing
did
where we,
that.
like, saw this?
You
Oh,
observed
no,
her in
We're all
secret.
alone.
Right.
Yeah, no, we don't know anything.
Oh yeah, no, I totally kept that a secret.
That sounds like bad news to me, personally. But
That's because you're all demon
I don't know.
racist.
You're a demon mom, so.
How dare you all?
We
I
established
don't know,
this
I
last
feel-
time
I feel
you
it's
met a
like meeting
demon.
The in-laws that you don't really like. All you've heard is the comments that they've made at like about your life, and so you don't really know that much except that they're kind of bad.
No. Apparently, she's bringing her whole castle here. That's new. That'll be interesting. So yes, we should prepare to entertain an empress.
If we don't have like a castle mech battle, I'll be kind of sad.
Oh,
Yes.
Like, I'm just throwing that out there right now.
You are all the worst.
You're the worst.
So next session, are we gonna go to that glass thingy? I want to go to the glass thingy. I want to fight things.
You should be able
We've
to.
got
Yeah.
so much political stuff.
Yes, I'm ready for you all to enter into the glass spire, which has a name that you haven't
That's
discovered yet.
Good
But
old-fashioned
yes,
dungeon crawl.
yeah, it's gonna just be. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Why?
I'll get ready to smash.
I'm very moist right now, guys.
Jeez.
I don't know why.
All right, so who are you all, and what do you do on the internet? Because we're done.
In reverse order this time that we remember.
We're just gonna follow the
I go
same
first,
order.
right?
Than, you
Yeah.
go. Who are you? What do you do on the
alright,
internet?
Cool. Hey, I'm Than Rand. I'm at Than Rand everywhere on the internet. You can find me here every second, fourth, and fifth Tuesday of the month with the Mimic Nights, being ridiculous. And then every Friday night on this very same channel with our Dragon Dark Days, which is the Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign with Capjack and several other awesome people. You can also find me on my own Twitch channel on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights, except for, when I play here, I won't be on my channel. And that's twitch.tv/DanRand. And yeah.
Awesome.
And I am Mets Girl. You can find me over on the Twitters and in a large number of Discords under that name. I also have a podcast called Beholder's Eye, on which I play Zalara, the Wood Elf monk. And things are getting real over there. It's real amazing how that story is going. And then I also have Service Desk Podcast, which is a tech podcast for those who are not quite so tech savvy. We try to explain things in terms people understand. And then I'm also here. And this week, Saturday, 8 p.m., Bardic Knock is leading us through over on Team NTG. We are doing a fundraiser for the autistic something or other. I forgot the name of the thing. Anyway, we're raising money for autism. And sorry, I'm terrible with this. But come watch us over on twitch.tv/TeamNTG at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. And I will be playing a bard for the first time. So that'll be fun.
Ooh.
I love being a bard.
I played a bard one time in a one-shot. It was ridiculous.
Of course it was. It's you.
Yeah.
You have all the bard
Oh
eyes.
yeah.
Next person.
Hello, everybody. I am Capjack, or at Captain J Cross on the Twitters, and you can find me all over the place here on Welcome to the Party on the first and third Tuesdays now. I am in our Eclipse Phase game run by Michisaurus. In our second, fourth, and fifth Tuesdays is, of course, the Mimic Nights right here. Friday nights, I'm in the Dragon Dark Days campaign with Than Rand right there. And on Saturdays with Shogun, we are in the Sabbat version of the Vampire 3-channel game. So for those of you that don't know, we are running vampire games across 3 different sections: Anarch, Camarilla, and Sabbat, the best group. And it's all running concurrently and interwovenly, so it's fun. Come check it out.
Scary.
And tomorrow
It
night's
is.
the
If you're
Camarilla
squeamish
game,
at all,
so-
don't watch it though. Like it has a
Oh yeah, if you don't like body horror, don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
It has a content warning. You like
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, wow, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually more interested now.
That, that's helping me be interested more.
Yeah, no.
Go watch our VOD from the Sabbat
no,
game.
like the most
Oh, no.
mundane body horror thing is my character said everyone should break their fingers. That was the most mundane body horror thing that happened that session.
You specifically said break a bone.
I did. So, but which means it doesn't have to be yours, but that's what everyone was doing. All right, last person.
Okay, so hey, I am One Sama-chan or Mimic Sama-chan on Twitter. You can find me mostly in the Discord. I'm here every Tuesday. So that's both Mimic Nights and Eclipse Phase. And then I'm here every Wednesday, starting back up on the 16th, I believe, is Welcome to Kataset, the super late night game that most of you probably won't watch. But that's okay because it goes on YouTube also.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I do, except for that thing that I was doing earlier with my hands. That one. So, yeah.
Of course.
I can do this.
Yeah, you know, what is it?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
But yeah,
so
that's my content.
I am Shogun. I'm Shogun117 on Twitter. You all could shut up now. You've all been very, very rambunctious today.
This
No
is what
idea.
you get for not letting us play together for a month.
yeah.
How dare you
Still a
schedule
lot to
Christmas?
make up for.
Yeah, how dare I schedule our game on Christmas Day?
Ugh.
How dare.
So I run this game every 2nd, 4th, 5th, which we do get a 5th Tuesday this month. 2nd, 4th, and 5th Tuesday of every month. We play Mimic Nights. Every other Thursday, I run Shadowrun, which is an open game, drop in, drop out. You can look for me in the Discord and the link down below, and try and contact me, DM me in there, and I can get you in the game. You don't have to make a long-term commitment. You can just show up for one session if that's all the time you have. And I'll guide you through every step of the way of like making a character and all that. I play in the Pokemon game that is all the other Thursdays, and with Capjack, and we are the bad guys in that one, both real world and in the game.
Good team.
We're so mean to. Oh yeah, no, you have your character lives on in the world, but you've moved on, and he's so awesome, and we're gonna drag enemies through that area, like get them to follow us, just so that we can get your character to come back and beat people up. And yes, I'm on every Saturday at noon EST and 9 o'clock in the morning for me. We play a Vampire Masquerade the Sabbat game, and that's everything. Yeah, I got a lot of plans in the works, but currently that's everything that's going on. So thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna go raid somebody. Let me figure out who. I should have been doing that before.
I wanna play D&D with somebody.
I wanna roll dice with somebody.
We will do Matty.
Somebody who charmed me.
We'll do that.
Well, I don't think you have a choice if it charmed you.
All right. So yeah.
I misheard that word and heard jumped.
Jump.
Somebody jumped me.
You're like out on the street and somebody just like
Mom,
roll the
play
20.
D&D now.
Roll initiative.
All right. Yes. That is the way you mug someone. You walk up and say, "Roll initiative."
Pokemon music, fight music plays. All right, cool.
All right.
So,
Thank you, everyone, for watching our nonsense. We're going to go raid Maddie Kun. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good evening, or whatever it is. Goodbye. Bye. Go to sleep, yeah, if you need to. Bye. Love you all.